So the first part of number 1 is prison. And what is the symbolism of this door? The iron spikes. Like this represents, it's not inviting. So justice, Puritan justice, because it's not very nice thing. But also sin, right? Agelessness of sin, because, well, this door is not that old, but it looks like it's represented sin for all time, right? Yes, Emma.
Did it have to be in the future?
Not for this one, but usually in the future, yes. For the sake of time today, no. Looking at the rose bush, we talked about the rose bush in quite great detail. What does it symbolize?
It's symbolizing that there's hope.
And nature feels the sympathy.
Nature gives hope because it shows pity and sympathy, yes, which gives someone hope. Shane, you are correct. But nature is the one that shows pity and sympathy, not humans. So that kind of answers number 3, the contrast. The prison door represents humans, right? Being harsh, and it shows guilt, right?
So what's number 3?
The prison door equals humans, right? The humans are the ones that build their prison door, which shows harshness and guilt. Because if you're in prison, you have guilt of some sort, or thought to be guilty of something, yes?
Yeah.
But the rose bush, like we just talked about, is nature and showing that sympathy, as Haley said, and it represents innocence. Because is everyone that goes into this prison guilty?
No.
No. Or guilty to the extent that they're being punished, we should talk about. So the prison door, humans, shows harshness and guilt. Rosebush is nature, shows sympathy and innocence. What colors does the scene open with?
Gold, right? Oh.
Like with the letter? Or?
Not the letter, not the letter, not the A. Like this, the colors of the crowd.
So just
gold.
Oh, gold is gray.
Grays, browns, blacks, dark colors. And you are correct. The A is described in great detail, but that's not what we're focused on right now. Because how would these dark colors impact the mood for the second part of number 4? It would be a darker, serious mood, right? A somber mood. Just like they are described as being very somber and serious and not yelling anything or doing anything to really go against her like she wishes they would.
So what was number 4?
Dark colors, the grays and blacks and browns. And it makes it a serious mood. What 2 things did they bring over from the old world? The first 2 things they built?
Prison and cemetery.
Prison and cemetery. We might not get through all of this, so if we do not get through this, probably not getting through this, we will finish it tomorrow, so make sure you save it if you're drawing on it. Hester Prynne, as she emerges from the prison.
Put together. She has her head high.
Confidence, holding her baby, head held high. Beautiful, right? They can't take their eyes off the Scarlet Letter, but they also can't take their eyes off of her. For number 7 and 8, moral status is different than social status. So you act upon your morals, like knowing right from wrong and making choices, where socially, that's how others see you, right? So her social status before all of this had happened had been a pretty good status. She was newer to town, but it was pretty good. And then now she is an outcast, right? So it had been good, but now she has fallen from social grace and is an outcast. Because who wants to be friends with the adulterous woman with a baby? Not very many people. Well, actually, no one, unfortunately. Because it even says the people that knew her before didn't recognize her now. So had anyone been to the prison to visit her?
No.
But her moral status, remember morals are your right from wrong. Her moral status is she's a sinner, right? A pretty ultimate sinner. Most of these people wouldn't have batted an eye if they would have executed her. Which now we are like, you're going to be killed for having a baby, not with your husband? That's a little harsh. But then they wouldn't have thought twice about it. The number 9, the majority of people that speak about this are women, but there are men that aren't very happy with her either. How do they feel about her as she emerges from the prison?
She should not look like that.
They are angry.
Angry.
She should not look that good. She should not be wearing that. She should not be holding her head high like that. Even the men are a little surprised. I'd say they weren't as angry as the women, but she shouldn't be looking like that. Okay. What does Hester do for a living that you get from her clothes?
Embroidery, like she does, sews and stuff.
Seamstress, yes, is the title for someone who sews. Seamstress. So she makes clothes and
S-E-A-M-S-T-R-E-S.
S-T-R-E-S-S. S-E-A-M-S-T-R-E-S-S.
she's a seamstress. She sews things and she does embroidery work very well. She has a beautiful A. So at least they know how well she does at her craft now. What are some of the varying opinions of the women that are gossiping about her?
She should die.
Yep.
She deserves more.
She deserves more. Death, burning, pretty harsh punishments coming from these women, except for one, right? There's one that shows a little bit of sympathy. The young woman. Because remember, she says, "Hush, neighbors, not a stitch upon that letter that she didn't feel upon her heart." Meaning that she knows what she's done. We don't need to be so harsh. She's her worst critic, I'm sure. And number 12, we do not know all of the punishments. This is actually supposed to be a chapter 3 question, but it got moved, unfortunately. But we do know a few of the punishments, right?
Stand tall.
She has
Stand in front of people.
She has to stand on the scaffold. She has to be in prison, as we know that she had her baby in prison. And what does she have to wear on her chest?
A.
She has to wear the Scarlet Letter, or wear an A. I don't think that they made it be scarlet. She made it as a symbol, right? The A with the gold around it, the scarlet, like a fire burning on her chest.
Is that it?
That's it. We did get through it.
Got through 'em.
Look at that. Look how fast we
I
can
didn't think
go.
we were going to, but
I did not think so either. Go ahead and turn those in.